All right, my friends. It is Friday night. We are back with Acoustics. We got Brian Mitchell. We got Emiko. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you, Gene, for having us. Excited to
Yeah.
be back and got a lot to talk about. The home entertainment show just ended a couple weeks ago, but
The show.
the show.
The show.
So that show's been going on for quite some time. You guys, it took a break for a couple of years, and now it seems like it's back, and it's in multiple locations, right, Emiko?
Yes.
Why don't you give us a little rundown, because you're kind of involved with the marketing of the show, right?
I am. Did anybody else hear that, or was that just me?
Hear what?
Great. Good. Perfect.
What?
Something bizarre just happened in my computer. Anyway, yes,
Oh, okay.
I am the senior vice president of the show, so I am slightly involved. Slightly involved on a day-to-day. The show's been going since the mid to late 90s, and this year, every year since I've been involved, we've been striving to make changes to reach more and more people. And after being the first show to open during COVID last year and only having like 3 floors, basically 2.5-ish floors spread out over 3 floors, we were up to the 5th floor this time, and we had the inaugural Headphonium, which is sort of a revamp of something that was going on for a while that Acoustics was kind enough to present. And we had a bunch of great, really wonderful personal portable audio brands. And we hit, I think we may have hit 200 exhibitors, not 200 rooms, but 200 people and manufacturers that were showing in components. And that's something that we're very, very pleased with. Given the current state of things. So that was very nice.
So I remember years ago, the show used to be at CES, like in the little
that was
site.
Way back in the day, man.
I'm showing my age. You see that?
That's time machine.
Yeah.
Time frame.
Emiko probably wasn't even alive back then. We're talking.
I was, but thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you put together a little PowerPoint on, I guess, the exhibits that really kind of stood out to you guys. The focus of this show is more 2-channel and headphones, right? It's not really home theater. It's not like a CEDIA integrator show, and it's not like a CES where it's all gadgets. It's really focused on 2-channel audio. Am I correct?
Yeah, it is. With the launch of our Denver show coming in October, there's going to be more stuff that's going on for each market, but the Long Beach is going to be our classic 2-channel show where people can come and not just experience high-end audio, but hi-fi of all entry points, all budgets, all stops along the journey, whether you're a beginner and a novice or you're, a super lifer, something for everybody.
And that's important because sometimes this high-end stuff, like the 2-channel stuff, is unreachable for most enthusiasts, right? So when you could come up with products that still sound good but are really good value, kind of gateway products sometimes for people to start out at that level and then work their way up as their budgets allow and as their tastes mature. I think it's great that there's companies that offer, especially now, because 20 years ago, we couldn't get the value in speakers that we're getting today. I mean, you could get budget speakers that perform really incredible now. So it's like the best time to be an audiophile, even if you don't have a big budget.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let me add this back to the stream here. Okay. So I'll go through the slides and you guys can just talk about it so we can live vicariously through you. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend the show, but appreciate Brian and Emiko to take these pictures and put this together for us to go over. So is that the Hilton?
That's the Hilton.
That's the Hilton.
Look at that. You're on an elevator.
That's our fabulous elevator wrap. So this was a interesting year for Acoustics at this show and any show because we were a sponsor, we were an exhibitor, and we were press covering the show at the same time. So we had a lot going on.
Nice.
But yeah, honored to be presenting the Headphonium, which we'll start to see next. But yeah, this cool elevator wrap, I had to throw it in there because
shameless
just
promotion.
Can't get enough of that.
Yeah.
Well, and Brian stayed up till I don't know how late I was
Designing
getting
that.
texts and
Oh, yeah.
emails from you going, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then finally, like 4 a.m, it was done. So
Cool.
right. And that's the logo for the Headphonium, which is our personal portable audio section, which Acoustics presented. So we're just getting that out there for branding's sake because people are going to be seeing that a lot. And that's part of the Headphonium, apparently.
Right. So yeah, there were a lot of high-end headphones, dongle decks. I didn't even know there were that many. But tube amps, IEMs, like there was a lot to try there if you hadn't experienced some high-end headphones. So
Was I know a popular brand for this kind of stuff is Hi-Fi Man. Were they there?
Yep.
they were kind of there through us.
Oh,
we
okay.
brought like 4 Hi-Fi Man headphones with us. That's the Aura Stealth, one of the very popular. It's around $1,600.
Yeah, it's
open back
great
headphones.
It's I've got
that's the top left. That's the top left. I think the bottom left is ZMF, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
They were with Amp and Sound, and then the upper right is Ultimate Ears were there. They had a large selection of IEMs. Yeah.
Now, was there any binaural stuff or head tracking or anything like that, or was this just strictly kind of basic 2-channel? I don't know.
Basic high-end headphone listening, like the top of the line brands were all there. You'll see on the next slide. There, I forget which they are. Oh, here we go. We have Arbus Acoustics is a new brand coming up. They had a prototype of their Everest headphone.
Hey, where do I get one of those Acoustics coffee mugs, man?
There you go. You might have one in the mail coming soon. So
nice. Okay.
They were quite popular.
I need some swag.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to point out the thing about Arbus Acoustics, Gene, is that one of the things that the show took great pride in this year is that we had some brand new young designers. So headphone designers, speaker designers, people that are, I mean, literally in their 20s and early 30s who are just starting out designing components. And these were the world premiere. Like this was his first show. He told me that he came to the show in 2021 as an attendee and then decided to dive right in. And he was like, I'm getting a booth. I'm going to do this. And there he was. And it was tremendous because it wasn't just about the highest end possible thing. It was encouraging others in the community to sort of jump on the bandwagon and, you know, explore not just listening, but creating the components too.
You know what? One of the most important aspects to me in a headphone that most people overlook is, obviously the sound is important, but the comfort and the fact that some of these headphones have such a high clamping force. And after an hour or two of using them, your ear starts hurting, especially if you wear glasses, it just presses down too hard.
Right.
What were some of the more comfortable ones that weren't too heavy that could sit on your head? You could actually sit on a airplane or just listen when you're at your desk for multiple hours without having fatigue on your head.
Yeah, I think that's a personal question for everyone. The one in the picture is the Apos Caspian that was on demo, and that's in a partnership with Kennerton, which is a high-end headphone brand that many in the US probably haven't heard of. But if you want to check their headphone out at apos.audio, that's the Caspian model. Underneath that is the topping DAC and amp. I think it's the D90 A90 combo. And then you see kind of wedged in the middle is the Astel and Kern Con Max digital audio player, which was a North American premiere at the show. It just launched like a couple days ago.
All right.
So well, that was cool to have people try that for the first time.
Gotcha.
And we did some podcasting from across our booth in the Headphonium, and there's Gary and Nick, right? From Gary and Nick from SVS, and that's Mitch, our podcast producer. So we already have 2 podcasts launched from the show, and there should be 3 or 4 more coming after that were all taped there on location. So
now, Emiko, do you know what that little symbol is under the black circle?
Yes, thank you very much. Everybody asks me.
You do know what that is, right?
Yes,
Anyone that was
because
anyone that's born after about 1990 wouldn't know what that is.
I
So
was born before 1990, but
There you
thank you
go,
for the
okay.
compliment. Yes.
I like that symbol. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a super chat here. What's the best way to use two headphones on a single connected AVR with a full independent controls, volumes, and balance? From Edward McKay. Appreciate the super chat. I don't think there is a way to do that with an AVR. You need something external, right? You need to add a headphone amp that has multiple outputs.
Two headphones on a single. I think you just need a splitter, like a headphone
But
splitter.
he wants independent volume
Control.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's a splitter with volume control, I guess, is the short part of that.
Yeah, I would say you're probably going to need to add an external headphone amp because you're going to need it buffered and stuff like that. You don't want to just gang two headphones in parallel on a single amp. So I don't know of any AVRs that have more than one headphone input on them. But yeah, appreciate the super chat though. All right. So what are we looking at here? The Oriaco G6.
Yep. I'm starting out on the affordable end. This was one of the affordable stand mount models. It's the one on the inner side to the right. It's a little bit bigger, and it's $6,300 a pair. And it's hooked up. You'll like this one, Gene. It's hooked up to a Denon A100. Do you recall that one from?
I don't know the model,
ago?
but yeah, so that's like an anniversary one or something, a 2-channel integrated.
Yeah. Yep.
I've got the A110 actually. We just reviewed not too long ago.
So, yeah, this one was kind of cool, incredibly airy sounding, and if you look, like super thin cables, 18 gauge. I verified that he's using a Marantz 67 SE CD player from 1996. So, yeah, this was just a very classic demo, proving that you don't need all the latest whiz-bang gear and DACs and amps.
Wow.
So
it's like a bit of vintage there.
Brian, did he play you his music?
Yep.
He did, right? So this room was shown by Tony Manassian of Tony and Labs.
Mm-hmm.
And he does these really cool productions of like drums and percussion and layered sounds, and it really shows what the speakers can do in terms of soundscaping and sound staging, and it's really lovely. And he makes a point every time somebody goes in the room, he makes a point of saying what the components are, because he's so proud of the fact that he's into all the Sound United stuff, like from the way back when. Mm-hmm. That's like his favorite thing in the world, and it works. It was a great sounding room.
Yeah, someone's got a question here I think it's good to address. How do you blend a subwoofer in a 2-channel integrated that has preamp outputs but no bass management? So if it's got variable preamp outputs, you could plug the subwoofer line level and you could just adjust the subwoofer level to the proper gain at a fixed volume, and it should go up and down with the preamp outputs. And you have to use the bass management in your subwoofer. If you don't have preamp outputs, it's just an integrated amp with speaker level outputs, you're going to have to find a subwoofer with speaker level inputs and run them in parallel with your main speakers, and then apply the bass management on the subwoofer again. So the answer lies in using the bass management of the subwoofer. But if you want to get more advanced, and if you want to start using external bass management, you're probably not going to use an integrated amp at that point, because then you're going to have to put a high pass on it for the speakers, and it gets more involved. But definitely, if you have line level outputs, no reason why you can't plug a subwoofer into those line level outputs and then use the bass management of your subwoofer. So there we go. What's the other speaker here now? The one with the dome tweeter.
It's the one from last year, just called the G6, and it's about half the price. It's around $3,500 a pair, from what I recall.
Yeah.
And that one's also pretty good sounding too. I didn't compare them this year, but he had that set up.
Cool. Okay. Now, where are these speakers? What's the speaker brand? What country are they from?
They're from here.
Oh,
He's
okay.
actually from Southern California. So if
Yeah,
you live in the
he's
Southern
local.
California area, he'll pretty much come to your house and demo them for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice service. I mean, that's the best way to evaluate a speaker if you could do it in your own listening space, you know?
Yeah. And he's a super cool guy. Like, that's the other thing. It's Tony Manassian from Manassian Sound and Oriaco. Local guy, just super down to earth, really approachable. So
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Did we
Black
skip
Ocean.
one? I thought we
Did
had
we skip one?
SVS. I thought we had SVS in there.
There they
There
are.
it
Oh,
is.
yeah. I don't
Yes.
know how that skipped.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
SVS was the most affordable brand there, and they had a killer
Yeah.
5.2.2 home theater system. That the total system for the speakers and the subs, I think it's around 5,900 total. They have the Pinnacle towers. Just it's hard to leave that room not impressed, and they
Yeah.
were super busy with the demos like all day long.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that
So they're probably one of the few that actually did a multi-channel demo then, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would they play in any spatial audio, like streaming Atmos through Tidal or Apple Music, or is it mostly movie content and maybe
they had movie content, music content, but I think it was Blu-ray. I'm not 100% sure how it. I don't see a player in there.
They
so
might
there
have a
must-
kaleidoscape or as a PD or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the
it's-
exhibit continued off to the side, like you can't see, but off to the side, there was more stuff going on. But it was intense in that room.
Someone
Yeah.
said it was movies. Okay.
Okay.
And
But yeah,
incidentally, we do have a review of the full Prime Pinnacle towers on Audioholics with measurements. So if anybody's interested in those speakers, go to our website, check it out. And I'm sure you guys probably covered some of that stuff as well on Acoustics, right?
Yeah, I don't think we haven't covered those towers yet, but we did do their sub, their SB1000 Pro,
Yep.
kind of their entry level sub we have covered. So,
All right. So I don't know how we skipped that slide, but let's get
It's
back
okay.
to Black Ocean Audio. Is this
Oh.
another? Where are these guys from?
Okay. Brian, can I take this one?
Go ahead.
'Cause you
Go
know,
ahead. I know.
because well, first of all, they're sitting in my house, right? Those are sitting in my house right now. So Black Ocean Audio, this was their world premiere ever, like the first time ever they've been in public. They are a local brand out of Long Beach, designed and crafted by hand by a single person, Nicholas Tarnowski, who is a young cat who is a musician, comes from prog and metal and melodic rock. And as a music creator and as a producer, I can tell you that these are some of the hottest, most musical sounding speakers. They are 100% handcrafted, made of wood. There's no filler. There's no MDF. There's nothing in there that's going to make it less organic. It's 100% organic materials. And these were the first time they were ever being shown. And to be able to have, a Daniel Colley saying over 1 inch thick hardwood, not plywood cabinets. Right. That's right.
So what's the little
they're
box? What's the little box for underneath them?
That's a good question. Do you know what the box is underneath, Emiko? You forgot.
Did I say that out loud? I forgot. I just get so excited. They're
Oh,
crossovers.
thank you, Larry. So they
There.
have
Yeah.
the crossovers are external from the cabinets, basically.
Yeah. And they are, Gene, if you can get your hands on a pair of these, I highly recommend, just for enjoyment.
Right.
I mean, on top of a review, this
Well, you
designer
said that they like
is-
prog rock, so I'm cool with that. By the way, to throw a little plug at prog rock, Porcupine Tree album is now out. They haven't done one in 13 years. It's out. It's streaming on Apple Music, and it's in Atmos. And after I'm done with this, I'm gonna get myself, something to kind of ease my mood for the night. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be listening to from start to finish of that album. I've been waiting 13 years for a new album from Porcupine Tree. So,
Well, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. You should listen to them on these if you can get. I'm serious. I think knowing the music, I think this would deliver. Tarnowski is one of the. I'm gonna say he's probably, if not the hottest next generation designer, he's one of the top 3.
So how much are these speakers? Do you know what estimated price?
So the Le Chiffre, I can't remember if it's the Studio or the Pro, but one goes for like 5,000 or 6,000, and then the other one I don't remember the price, but it's meant to be more less expensive.
That's cool. Hey, we got Aperion Audio here. I don't know if that's the official Aperion Audio channel, but shout out if it is. Cool.
It is.
Hi,
Aperion Audio.
Haven't heard from them in a long time. All right, so this looks cool. I definitely would maybe have James Larson or myself check these out. Would definitely like to hear them. Ohas, am I saying that right?
I think so.
I don't think
none of us ever heard them. None of us ever heard them say the name out loud. So we're assuming that is correct. Yeah, this is one of Common Wave Hi-Fi's rooms, one of 3. Brian, you want to take this one?
Yeah, this is this one we have an article on the website if you want to get a little bit more details. But if you look closely, there's a horn. There's like a horn thing on top that gets mounted on. This is kind of a kit speaker, from my understanding. And you can go look at I think it's ohas.nyc is the website to learn more. And yeah, that's the quick rundown of that room.
So how did it sound? Because it looks interesting. Let's put it that way.
It was great.
Speechless.
I don't have any memories of that one but I know our editor Ian White, our editor-in-chief, wrote up a nice article on that one. So
I guess Daniel's talking about these speakers. I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty. The room was punchy, but in a good way. It was really powerful.
I hope I said it right, Ohas. But anyways, if anyone knows a way differently to say it, to pronounce it, then please.
Phonetic spelling.
I'm sure I'll be. Hey, I pronounced a couple of Belgian words wrong on a live stream, and I got messages from someone saying, "This is how you're supposed to say it. Guten Tag. You know, you're supposed to say Arendel, not Arendel." I'm like, okay, I got it. So people are very sticklers with how you pronounce. So I want to make sure I get that right.
Right.
So we are on. I'm not saying that word. Boenicke.
I think it's Boenicke. I think. Do you know Emiko? If it's Boenicke?
This was Alma. This was Alma's room, wasn't it? Yeah, because the Kubala songs are in there.
It looks like it looked like there's a python snake in that room. Oh, that's sorry, that's the speaker cable.
It does.
The speaker cable probably costs more than the entire SVS setup that you just showed us before.
So what I will say about these speakers, because I don't know, I wouldn't say I spent a fair amount of time in the room. I was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. But when I did go in, Fabio gave me a wonderful piano demo, and I have to say that these speakers translate jazz really beautifully, and that was something that I noticed. I heard different genres of music in there, and the one thing that stood out was how beautifully the jazz came through. So that was kind of interesting, because I didn't think that one genre was going to win out over others, but it stood out a lot. And the replication of piano on these speakers was really lovely.
And Emiko has some music background, so she knows what a piano sounds like, right?
I do. That's what they tell me.
Yep.
Yeah, and these are incredibly skinny floor standers. You can't quite tell it from the picture.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what that metal thing is behind it.
It's part of the stand to hold it up because it's so thin.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe.
They are really, Gene, they look like Lego blocks that have been turned like the tall way around. And they are you walk in the room and they're so cute, and there's huge sound that comes out of them. I was not expecting what I heard.
Right.
And I believe they're 8,500 a pair.
Ooh.
But what you'll find interesting is they're hooked up to about $80,000 worth of electronics over there behind it. So
Okay.
that may have helped a little bit.
Yeah,
But-
maybe.
Yeah.
It looks nice. I mean,
Yeah.
DEVORE
yes.
Fidelity O baby. Is it really the O baby model?
Yep. It's the Oh Baby.
I wonder how people come up with these names.
This was another local dealer, Common Wave Hi-Fi. This is room 2 of 3 that they had. And I spent a fair amount of time in this room, mostly because I was in a very committed monogamous relationship with that turntable.
Interesting.
I just
okay.
pushed everybody out of the way, and I was like, right, so unhook this is coming home with me, let's go. And it was lovely. Brian, what did you think of this room?
Oh yeah, this was one of the favorites from the Acoustics team.
Yeah.
So yeah, we also have a story about it on the website. I'll probably repeat that a few times. We have close to 20 articles from the show reports, and we should hit 30 by the time we're done. So
I'll put a link in the description if anyone wants to go. It's acoustics.com, but you'll see a link in the video description as well.
Audio imports.
Oh,
room.
someone said they were glued to that room.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Daniel was absolutely. So Audio Imports shows with us every year, and every year Brian from Audio Imports shows up, sets up his system in like breakneck speed time. He's got this thing down to a science. It's crazy. And it just sounds heavenly. You walk in there and you don't think you're going to get, I think a lot of people walk into his room not knowing what they're going to, not really knowing what they're going to hear or experience. And it is truly harmonious. It's incredibly balanced, warm without being too overpowering. And all the details are there just at the right time, at the right level. And it's a beautiful room. He does it year after year, and he just delivers every time.
So is that their electronics as well, or is that someone else's electronics?
This is all, well, he's the distributor for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't design them. This is all the stuff that he has as a distributor, and they are really lovely.
Oh yeah, there's a comment here. The cables are touching the floor. You better get those Tinker Toys to raise them up.
I feel like for these cables in the Audio Imports room, he would need like concrete blocks or something, because no cable lifter is going to be able to support those cables.
Yeah.
But it really sounded great.
I'm sure it did. Whoa, these are big.
This is one of my favorite
Yeah,
setups.
this was a good room. I'll let you go, Emiko.
Oh, okay. So
Stenheim.
another local Sunil Merchant and Sunny Components, sunnyaudiovideo.com. He's in Covina, California, and I've known him for years. He shows with us every year with something different, and this pairing of the Stenheims with the CH Precision setup is truly, and I think those are HRS racks, I think. Just tremendous. If anybody's heard any of the Stenheim speakers, they are out of this world. And I mean, CH Precision just makes some really, I'm not going to hide it, they're aspirational pieces, but if you can audition them and spend time with them, it's totally worth it.
So they are they modular? They must have, the bass portions must be separate from the mid tweeter, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because they look pretty heavy.
This room just, last year they did a premiere of the Stenheim, I want to say the Alumine 3s, but I could be wrong, in a different room with us, and that setup just blew everybody away. I mean, there was a line out the door and people had to make appointments to get in for demos, and it was crazy. So this year Sunil had 2 rooms and this was one of them, and he brought sort of a smaller Stenheim CH Precision setup, and it was really well received.
Yeah, looks interesting. I don't know what I'm looking at, but that's.
These are great. These are.
Is it a solar panel? What is it? I'm trying to figure it out.
No, these are the MC Audiotech 4010s. So MC Audiotech is a company that was started by Mark Conti and Paul. Oh my gosh, I can't remember Paul's last name. I'm sorry, but he's a very cool guy. These are built in the Pacific Northwest. And the 4010s, which are the outside ones that look like giant sailboat sails, as it were.
Yeah.
I first heard those. Now, so this is the story. This is the only time you're going to hear me mention another audio show live when I'm representing the show. I first heard these at Capital Audio Fest in 2019, and I died. Like, I fangirled over these speakers so hard. I was grabbing everybody I could to come up to Mark's room to hear them. The show closed, and I was still sitting there, and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go to dinner. And I was like, great. I'm going to sit here and listen to records. And he's like, no, you have to leave. And I went, no, I'll be here. And the 4010s are, for me anyway, I mean, they're not a speaker for everybody, and we're very clear on that. But these speakers, I did everything I could to get him to the show. And he showed with us last year and again this year. And then the ones inside of the 4010s are brand new. These are prototypes. So this is another world premiere. I don't know what they're called, I'm sorry to say, but they retail at about, I think they're going to be roughly half the price ish of the 4010s, which retail, I think at, don't quote me, but I think it's somewhere between 40 and 50,000 for the pair. They're huge. I mean, they're ginormous pieces of furniture. So
can you get a different grow color than the white that they have on those? I hope
you can. Okay. There are things that they can do custom for you, and it's just it's amazing. I mean, really, that room delivered.
Okay. I'd like to hear these. I mean, I always like to look for interesting designs like this. It's kind of like a planar magnetic kind of.
Well, you're in Florida, right, Gene?
Yeah, so the Florida Audio Expo might have them next year.
He shows at Tampa annually, and I happen to know, because I talked to him this morning, that a pair are going down to Florida for some private event. I can't remember what it is. So let me know. We can talk about it. Maybe I can make an introduction for you guys, because these are really beautiful.
So is this the back end of the speaker or the front end?
This is the front end of the speaker.
Okay.
You'll have to help explain that design where they cover up part of the driver. It's part of the design. Graham Audio LS55F. But if you look back, they're only hooked up to a integrated amp back there. So
got a reel-to-reel player there too.
Yep. And those are $25,000.
That
Great
was
sounding. Yeah.
That was British Audio guys and on a higher notes room, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That was a good room. They're all good rooms, but
there's so many good rooms.
Yeah. This one was really fun. Infigo.
Man, where are these companies coming from?
Well, this is what's so great, Gene, is that there are a lot of new companies. Infigo Audio is relatively new. They were going to premiere with us in 21, and they just couldn't get, because they were so new, they just couldn't get everything together in time, is my understanding. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I was told. Infigo Audio are they based in British Columbia, or they're made in British Columbia? But they are I want to say they're Dutch. Somebody help me. Are they Dutch?
You could be right.
Okay, they're a family. It's a husband and wife and their daughter, and it's just I can't. Like, I walked into their room and I burst into tears. Everything was perfect, and so Infigo makes the electronics, and then Alto was providing the speakers, and that pairing was stratospheric. It was out of this world. And their music choice that they played was like pop electronica stuff, kind of like smooth groove. And it works. And they had a small room, and it was really appropriate. And you can tell that this has huge sound, but when they dial it back, everything is proportionate. It was, their room was beyond flawless. It was truly amazing. Highly recommend.
And these are Class A amplifier designs, some kind of new design. I talked to the owner about them.
So if you live in a cold climate, this could warm your room up.
Yes.
Multi-purpose. So. There you go. Yeah.
So.
Everybody should check them out. They're really, again, lots of new stuff. So it's cool. Oh,
Right.
these Alma's second room. Brian, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I mean, Audio Alta's looks like a single driver, and it's off center if you look at it.
Yeah, and it's full range. It's not even a coax. So that always kind of concerns me when you see a single full range driver like that. I mean, it can work, but how did it sound? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it sounded pretty good. If you see that little, there's kind of some tape that's covered up by the name, but that's where they had him originally, where you think you should place him. And then they moved him back to the corner for the second day, and that's when I was in there. And I got to say, like, they sounded pretty good. They had him hooked up to a streamer, and yeah, those are $4,000 from what I remember. So one of the more
Ouch.
affordable ones. I should have had them towards the front.
That's all right. Yeah.
Yep.
The cabinet looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It was nice. And it was surprising to see them because I had seen them in this spot where the tape is the day prior. And then I walked in and I was like, wait, what just happened? And it sounded great. Was not expecting it to sound as balanced as it did. And it was lovely.
Okay. Jamie
let-
Audio. So it's
I'll let
not to be
Emiko take
confused with
this one.
James Audio, right? Is this James Audio's wife or?
So Jamie Audio, the reason that Jamie Audio is a female speaker designer, and as a woman in hi-fi, it was not just enough to support women. It like people need to know about her. People need to know because
Yeah,
it's
rare.
simple and it's tasteful. And I think this was one of the only rooms that had plants in it also, which I'm just like, for whatever it's worth. I don't know how Jamie Audio managed to get plants in there, but good, good on you.
yeah,
Really sweet sounding room. And it's funny because like their Instagram is private, their website is being worked on, but they really are just as much as Black Ocean. I feel like Jamie Audio is another one of those look out tomorrow, like look for it today, because get on this train. It's another one of these next generation designers that I think they're going to be big.
Are they US based or are they international?
I don't know because I didn't handle their account. I think she's Asian, but I don't know if she's based here or in Asia. That's the one thing I don't know. But it was a beautiful room.
All right.
Yes. This is
Verity Audio Sarastro 2. Thrax
Those are the
Audio and
speakers.
United Home Audio. Wow. Okay. I think I've seen these speakers before. I don't know where, but I've seen them.
Brian, did you go for the after party?
I missed the after party, but I heard it was crazy in there. The room was packed.
That room was, so Maurice and I went in on Saturday. No, was it Friday night? I can't remember when we went in, but High End by Oz Turan set up this room, and it's all reel to reel, and he just has the best listening parties around. I mean, it really was. Yeah, Daniel's right. The after party was kicking. It was packed to the gills, and people were making merriment and drinking and hanging out and enjoying music, and it was really lovely. It was, and he's a great host for the after party stuff. And it was, and the thing with the reel to reel was, it was so beautifully presented, because I think most of us, when we listen to reel, it's either like super old or a little harsh, but this was crisp, clean, clear, right on the money.
You could get really good audio out of reel to reel if it's properly maintained. And
well, right. And that's the key, is like all of his master tapes are impeccable. And that's something that he and United Home Audio, who provides the reel to reel, they really pride themselves in that. And it was really beautifully done.
Yeah. I like the finish. It's kind of pretty unique there. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, and the little white things on the bottom, because people kept asking me after I posted
those
this
were
picture.
lights.
Those are lights, right? Somebody was like, "What's with the rubber ducks?" And I went, "No. Why? because when the room was dark, they would go directional, and it was really cool. Yeah, good room.
Brain salad surgery. Nice, thank you. I love that. We're talking prog rock tonight. I love it. Audio Group Denmark, Aavik,
Aavik, Ansuz, and
Børresen. I'm gonna get
Børresen.
butchered on this.
Yeah, I got to hear a pretty nice demo in this room. That's the 01 Silver Supreme. That's the part that got chopped off on the name, but really high end, made in Denmark.
They look cool. They almost look like I don't know if it's a cardioid because of those slots on the side, because you would think it would be towards the bass section, but were those vents on the sides of the cabinet? Did you get a closer look at them?
I did not inspect the cabinet like you might, Gene.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool though.
But yeah, famous speaker designer, I think, is Børresen, is the name of one of the brands. And yeah, I think he's involved in all three brands. And the electronics in the middle, the Aavik, it's a streamer and amp with the red lights. And Ansuz makes the kind of the, I don't know how you describe them, but the little discs that the things are sitting on, the resonance absorbers. That may be the right term.
Right.
And they make some other things in that resonance correction stuff.
Inspired by the Maxwell
tuning.
That's funny.
Yeah, we can move to the.
Oh my goodness.
So Zengali Acoustics this was presented by Reference Components, and Zengali Acoustics is based out of Italy, and they've been going for about 30, maybe a little over 30 years. They're handcrafted, they're wood, they're horned speakers, believe it or not. I think these are the client Evos. These are the 1.5s. Okay. So these are the client Evo 1.5s. And the story with these, they showed with us last year. It was the Zengali reintroduction US premiere. And then this year they brought in sort of the Big Daddy speakers, which were amazing. And they had a room on the third floor that was very nice. And then we had a last minute adventure change, and they ended up in a huge ballroom on the mezzanine level, heavily trafficked. And when I say that Reference Components and their team put this system together in the blink of an eye, I mean, the room was always, I don't want to say packed because it was a ballroom and they only had so many chairs set up, but each chair was always full. Beautiful music coming out of it. Pair Audio, I think did the turntable, and just really, really, I don't know how to say it. The speakers are made, Zengali makes them as if they're instruments because they want the music to be played through another musical instrument. And so with that in mind, they create them, and they're just beautiful. They sound amazing. Again,
heavy to move.
They are.
That looks like a 15 or an 18-inch driver, I'm guessing.
They're very hefty. They have a smaller speaker, which Gene, if you can get your hands on it to review or whatever, they're worth it. They're definitely not ultra high end in terms of pricing, but they're not budget speakers either. I mean, they're good, low five figures, but they're well worth it, and they're really pretty. Oh, this picture. Brian, do you want to tell the story?
I'll let you tell the story of this one. We lost Gene.
Where did Gene go?
I don't know.
Did Gene? Hello, Gene? There's Gene.
He must have.
I cut out again. I don't.
There you are.
I don't know why he does that.
There you are.
I lost the picture, so I'd have to re-add it to the live stream. But if you guys just want to talk about it, we don't really have to.
Yeah. People saw it for a second. This was. I can't claim. I don't think Brian or I can claim responsibility for this. First of all, I want to say that photograph was taken by Harris Fogel, And Harris owns all the copyright to that picture. I grabbed it off of Instagram, which is why you very clearly see the photo credit, because I believe firmly that we need to credit our creators. So Harris, sorry I couldn't talk to you in time to get it, but I grabbed it. I know it's a low res version, but the show has this ambassador program where we partner with content creators who are audiophiles, who are into hi-fi, home theater, so on and so forth. And we do like annual contracts with them to come on board in an official capacity with the show. And so one of our ambassadors, Scott Lylander, who is audio acoustic engineering on Instagram, had made this suggestion to Harris. I don't know, he comes up with these random ideas that are really cool. And he said, hey, let's take a picture of everybody that's part of this Instagram community that we've started to, I don't know, connect with and really become a hi-fi family. And so this is sort of like the class of 2022. And we included this because one of the things that we've been talking about is that the show, the home entertainment show, may not be the biggest show. However, we are a family-oriented show, and family in the sense of community and in the sense of something for everyone. And so this picture, I think, for us really represents what that is in terms of being human and being tightly knit friendships. And it was just such a beautiful thing, because all of these people met for the very first time at the show. We all knew each other through Instagram and social media. And this was a real testament to the positive side of social media and how hi-fi and social media can actually work harmoniously together. So this was a wonderful moment in time.
So someone's asking, does the show cover home theater or just 2-channel? I saw one thing that was home theater. Everything else was 2-channel. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so our show in Denver is going to be more home theater, and there's going to be gaming and personal portable audio as well. So like I said, Long Beach is going to be sort of more the classic 2-channel thing. Denver's going to be sort of this integrated smart home integration, home theater, gaming, tech. And then our Nashville show, which is coming after the Denver show, is going to be really about music creation and really understanding when you listen as an audiophile, sort of backwards engineering, going back to the music creator and the studio and understanding that process so that you can appreciate it more when you're listening to it. So by creating this sort of network of shows, we want to give audiophiles and music enthusiasts a chance to have a really holistic, elevated experience and understand all sides of it.
That's smart to get the gaming stuff involved in Denver too, because we should be focusing on good sound quality with people that have gaming systems, because that's a huge market that's untapped.
Yeah.
So if you could get good sound into people playing video games, you're going to appeal to the entire family. You're going to just open your market to more next generation audiophiles.
Absolutely. And Acoustics is going to present the Headphonium again, and we're working on a very special vintage exhibit with Acoustics as well. So that we don't want to say too much about it, but I've seen the emails flying back and forth with Brian and his team, and it's just going to be really exciting. So our aim with the show is to be different and really offer people a lot of entry points and avenues and ways to explore and have them all meet at this common place, which is we all love music. We all want to share that and celebrate it with each other.
Nice. Well, appreciate you guys putting this show report together. I'll put some links in the description below if you guys want to check out Acoustics coverage. Brian, you said you had like 25 or 30 articles on.
There will be soon. Yeah, I think there's already 20, and we're posting more every day. So
man, you guys are busy over there at Acoustics. You got to relax and chill out, man.
Apparently, yeah. But yeah, it was an incredible show, and I highly advise anybody to go next year in Long Beach or the upcoming one in Denver. It's a great way to like just immerse yourself in audio. Like you don't get a chance to hear this stuff. Yeah. You don't, like, if you're lucky enough to live close to a dealer, you get to hear a fraction of that, of what you can try out at a show. So we hope to see you in Denver, and it's going to be exciting. Home theater, gaming, headphones.
Yeah,
wow.
It's gonna be great. I have to shout out 3 people though before we go. One is Maurice Jung, who's the president of the show. DJ Robertson, who's our head of logistics and sales, and Daniel Cawley, who joined the show team this year, and our 2 ambassadors, Giles McCoy from Home Theater Fanatics and Scott Lylander. We have another ambassador that's coming on next week, but I'm not allowed to say who that is yet. And Abigail Shelton as well, who's part of the show team. She does all of the social media with us, and it's just a wonderful group. And they're not always seen out in front, but believe me, this is a team effort. And just because you see my face or Brian's face, like, does not mean that there's not a whole army of people working with us on this. And it's, it takes a family to make this happen. And
it takes a village.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It definitely takes a village to do this. So we want to just make sure that everybody knows that. And Gene, thank you for having us on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I wish I could go to more of these kind of shows. Hopefully I'll get to one of these days, and maybe you could come to Florida and check out the Florida Audio Expo.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Absolutely.
Well, guys, before we wrap up, I just want to remind everybody we have an SVS contest going on this channel. They're giving away, through Audio Advice and SVS partnership, a SB or PB 2000 Pro. You're eligible to enter if you're in the 48 states in the United States, and you will never be contacted to pay for shipping, and you will never be contacted by some douchebag on our YouTube channel that claims that you won when you didn't, because we get a lot of spammers. So please watch out for that. You're going to hear from us officially if you won. The contest ends at the end of this month, so please enter if you can. Don't forget about our Patreon channel at patreon.com/audioholics. We appreciate your support. You get direct access to us if you want to suggest video topics or ask questions. Again, check out acoustics.com for more of the coverage of the show. Again, Brian, Emiko, appreciate you guys participating. We'll definitely have you back on soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gene.
All right, guys. Until next time, my friends.